The morning sun cast long shadows across the tarmac at Nellis Air Force Base as Sarah Martinez approached the restricted hangar complex. Her civilian clothes and worn backpack drew immediate attention from the security checkpoint guards who exchanged knowing glances. She had that look they recognized all too well, another military enthusiast hoping to catch a glimpse of the classified aircraft housed beyond the chain-link barriers. Captain Derek Morrison spotted her from 50 yards away and quickened his pace. In his 15 years of service, he had seen countless civilians attempt to breach the perimeter, each convinced their curiosity justified breaking federal security protocols. This woman appeared no different from the rest, wandering toward Hangar 7 with the casual confidence of someone who clearly did not understand the gravity of restricted military zones. "You need to stop right there," Morrison called out as he intercepted her path. His voice carried the authority of someone accustomed to immediate compliance. "This is a restricted area. Authorized personnel only." Sarah paused and turned toward him with calm eyes that seemed to take in every detail of his uniform and bearing. "I understand the protocols, Captain. I need to speak with Colonel Hayes about the F-22 maintenance issue." Morrison almost laughed at her boldness. "Ma'am, I don't know what you think you know about our operations, but civilians don't just walk onto military installations demanding meetings with wing commanders." He gestured toward the main gate. "Security will escort you back to the visitor center where you can file a proper request through official channels." Two airmen from the checkpoint had noticed the commotion and begun walking in their direction. Morrison appreciated their initiative, but felt confident he could handle one misguided civilian without backup. The woman's mention of specific aircraft caught his attention momentarily, but he dismissed it as common knowledge easily obtained from aviation websites and military forums. "I think there might be some confusion here," Sarah said quietly. Her tone remained respectful, but carried an undertone that made Morrison pause. "If you contact Colonel Hayes and mention the Phoenix incident from 2019, he'll want to see me immediately." The Phoenix incident? Morrison felt a slight chill run down his spine. That classified operation was known only to a handful of personnel, and the details certainly were not available in any public forum. He studied the woman more carefully, noting the way she stood with perfect military bearing despite her civilian attire. Her confidence seemed less like civilian bravado and more like the quiet assurance of someone accustomed to authority. "How do you know about Phoenix?" Morrison asked, his voice dropping to a more serious tone. "That information is classified at the highest levels." Sarah smiled slightly. "Because I was there, Captain. And right now, there are 12 F-22 Raptors in that hangar with a hydraulic system flaw that your maintenance crews haven't identified yet. A flaw that nearly cost us 3 aircraft and 6 pilots during Phoenix." Morrison felt the ground shift beneath his assumptions. Military enthusiasts did not possess detailed knowledge of classified missions or specific technical failures in billion-dollar aircraft. His mind raced through possibilities as he tried to reconcile this woman's appearance with the information she had just shared. Around the base, airmen and officers went about their morning routines, unaware that everything Captain Morrison thought he knew about proper security protocols was about to change. Have you ever been underestimated just because of how you looked, like you didn't belong somewhere important? Share your state in the comments, and let me know if this kind of thing happens where you live too. The two approaching airmen had slowed their pace, but continued watching the interaction with growing interest. Morrison realized that his next decision would either demonstrate proper security procedures or reveal a significant failure in his judgment about who belonged in restricted areas and who did not. Morrison's radio crackled to life as he processed Sarah's words about the Phoenix incident. Base operations calling all units. Routine security sweep in progress at Hangar 7. The timing felt coincidental, but Morrison had learned long ago that coincidences rarely occurred on military installations without underlying reasons. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to provide some identification and explain exactly how you obtained classified information," Morrison said, his hand instinctively moving toward his radio. The casual tone he had used earlier disappeared, replaced by the clipped precision of an officer dealing with a potential security breach. Sarah reached slowly into her backpack, making sure her movements remained visible and non-threatening. Morrison appreciated her understanding of proper protocol, another small detail that seemed inconsistent with a civilian trespasser. She produced a weathered military identification card and handed it to him. The ID bore her photograph but listed her rank as Major and showed an expiration date from 3 years ago. Morrison examined the card carefully, noting the holographic security features and official seals that would be impossible to counterfeit. However, expired identification meant nothing in terms of current authorization to access restricted areas. "This ID is expired, Major Martinez," Morrison said, using her rank out of professional courtesy despite his continued suspicion. "Even if this is legitimate, it doesn't grant you access to current operations or classified facilities." Sarah nodded. "You're absolutely right, Captain. But Colonel Hayes extended a standing invitation for me to visit whenever I was in the area. He said the maintenance teams might benefit from my input on the hydraulic systems I helped design." Morrison felt another shift in his understanding of the situation. Military contractors and former officers sometimes maintained relationships with active units, particularly when their expertise related to ongoing operational challenges. The mention of hydraulic system design suggested engineering background that could explain her technical knowledge. The two airmen had reached their position and stood at respectful attention, waiting for Morrison's instructions. Sergeant Williams and Airman First Class Chun both appeared curious about the unusual conversation they had witnessed from a distance. "Sir, is there a security concern?" Sergeant Williams asked, his eyes moving between Morrison and Sarah with professional alertness. Morrison hesitated before responding. He could order Sarah's immediate removal from the base and file a report about the security incident. That would satisfy protocol and protect his career from any potential fallout. However, her specific knowledge about the Phoenix incident and the hydraulic system problems suggested connections that warranted further investigation. "Sergeant, escort Major Martinez to the security office while I contact Colonel Hayes," Morrison decided. "Her claims need verification before we proceed." Sarah accepted the decision without protest, but her expression suggested mild disappointment rather than the relief Morrison expected from someone who had been caught trespassing. Most civilians would welcome the opportunity to avoid serious charges through official channels. "Captain, if you do reach Colonel Hayes, please mention the starboard hydraulic manifold on aircraft 779, Sarah said as Sergeant Williams gestured toward the security building. "He'll understand the reference immediately." The aircraft number struck Morrison as oddly specific. Most civilians, even those with aviation knowledge, refer to military aircraft by their popular names rather than individual tail numbers. Sarah's casual mention of a specific F-22's hydraulic system suggested familiarity that went beyond theoretical understanding. As the group began walking toward the security office, Morrison noticed several other personnel had taken interest in the unusual scene. Word spread quickly on military bases, and the sight of civilian being escorted by security would generate questions and speculation throughout the day. Morrison activated his radio and requested a direct line to Colonel Hayes. The base operator informed him that the colonel was currently in a classified briefing but would be available within the hour. Morrison acknowledged and decided to use the waiting time to conduct a more thorough background check on Major Sarah Martinez. The security office maintained comprehensive databases that could verify military service records, contractor relationships, and security clearances. If Sarah's claims were legitimate, the information would appear in official records. If she was fabricating her credentials, the investigation would reveal inconsistencies that justified her removal from a base. Sergeant Williams opened the security office door and gestured for Sarah to enter. She complied without hesitation, her demeanor remaining calm and cooperative throughout the process. Morrison found her behavior increasingly puzzling, as most people facing potential federal charges for trespassing on military installations displayed considerably more anxiety. Inside the office, Sarah took a seat and waited patiently while Morrison began his computer searches. Her military bearing remained evident even in civilian clothes, and her familiarity with security procedures suggested extensive experience with similar situations. Morrison typed her name and service number into the database and waited for the results. Within moments, her service record appeared on his screen, revealing details that would either validate her presence or expose elaborate deception. The computer screen displayed Sarah's service record in stark military formatting. Morrison's eyes widened as he scrolled through her assignments and commendations. Major Sarah Martinez had served with distinction in the Air Force's most elite units, including tours with the 422nd Test and Evaluation Squadron and classified assignments that appeared as redacted blocks in her official record. Her technical qualifications filled an entire page. Advanced degrees in aerospace engineering and hydraulic systems design from MIT. Specialized training in experimental aircraft testing. Security clearances at levels Morrison had rarely encountered during his career. The woman sitting calmly in the security office was not a curious civilian, but a decorated officer with credentials that surpassed his own. Sergeant Williams noticed Morrison's expression change as he read the screen. "Sir, is everything in order with the identification?" Morrison continued reading, discovering that Sarah had received the Distinguished Flying Cross for actions during a classified mission in 2019. The timing aligned perfectly with her mention of the Phoenix incident. Her record showed transition to contractor status 3 years ago, maintaining active security clearances for consultation work with advanced aircraft systems. The database also revealed her current employment with Lockheed Martin's Skunk Works division, the legendary advanced development program responsible for the most classified aircraft in American military history. Her contractor identification number remained active, and her clearance status showed green across all categories. "Sergeant, Major Martinez's credentials check out completely," Morrison said, his voice carrying a note of embarrassment. "She's an active contractor with Skunk Works and maintains top-secret clearances for consultation on advanced aircraft systems." Sarah smiled slightly, but remained seated until officially released from custody. Her patient demeanor suggested familiarity with military bureaucracy and the time required for proper verification procedures. Morrison realized that her cooperation throughout the process stemmed from confidence rather than submission. Morrison's radio buzzed with an incoming call from Colonel Hayes. The timing suggested that word of the security incident had reached the wing commander through official channels. Morrison accepted the call with growing apprehension about explaining his actions. "Morrison, what's this about detaining one of our contractors at the perimeter?" Colonel Hayes asked without preamble. His tone carried the weight of someone who had been interrupted during important business to address unnecessary complications. "Sir, we had a civilian approach the restricted hangar area without proper authorization," Morrison began, but his explanation felt increasingly inadequate as he spoke. "She claimed knowledge of classified operations and mentioned meeting with you about maintenance issues." Colonel Hayes paused before responding. "Captain, Major Martinez has standing authorization to access any facility under my command. She designed half the systems we're currently troubleshooting and has clearance levels that exceed most of our permanent staff." Morrison felt the weight of his mistake settling over him like a heavy blanket. "Sir, she presented expired military identification and approached the area in civilian clothes. Standard protocol required verification of her current status." The colonel's voice carried a note of understanding mixed with mild frustration. "Captain, Major Martinez retired from active duty but maintains contractor status with full base access. Her civilian attire is standard for Skunk Works personnel who prefer not to advertise their affiliations. Next time, verify before detaining." Morrison acknowledged the guidance and ended the call. He turned to Sarah, who had listened to his side of the conversation with apparent amusement rather than anger. Her expression suggested she had experienced similar misunderstandings before and understood the challenges faced by security personnel. "Major Martinez, I apologize for the confusion," Morrison said formally. Colonel Hayes has confirmed your authorization and requested that I escort you directly to Hangar 7. Sarah stood and shouldered her backpack. Captain, you followed proper security procedures when faced with an unusual situation. I should have presented my contractor credentials immediately instead of assuming my military identification would suffice. Sergeant Williams and Airman Chun exchanged glances as they processed the reversal in the situation. The woman they had prepared to escort off the base was now revealed as someone with higher clearance levels than most personnel stationed there permanently. Morrison led Sarah back toward the restricted hangar area, his mind racing through the implications of his initial judgment. Her civilian appearance and casual approach had triggered assumptions about her lack of authorization, but those assumptions had proven completely incorrect. As they walked across the tarmac, Morrison noticed other personnel watching their movement with curiosity. The story of the security incident would spread throughout the base within hours, but the resolution would likely generate more questions than answers. The massive doors of Hangar 7 came into view, housing some of the most advanced aircraft in the world. Morrison realized that Sarah's knowledge of specific maintenance issues and aircraft numbers now made perfect sense given her background and current role with Lockheed Martin's most classified programs. The interior of Hangar 7 revealed 12 F-22 Raptors in various stages of maintenance, their stealth surfaces gleaming under the powerful overhead lighting. Morrison had seen these aircraft countless times, but Sarah's presence transformed his perspective on the sophisticated machines. She moved through the hangar with the confidence of someone intimately familiar with every system and component. Chief Master Sergeant Rodriguez approached from the maintenance pit beneath Aircraft 779, wiping hydraulic fluid from his hands with a stained rag. His weathered face showed the frustration of someone dealing with persistent technical problems that defied conventional solutions. Captain Morrison, we weren't expecting an inspection today, Rodriguez said, noting Sarah's civilian attire with barely concealed suspicion. His tone suggested wariness about unauthorized personnel observing sensitive maintenance procedures. Chief, this is Major Martinez from Skunk Works, Morrison explained, still adjusting to the dramatic shift in Sarah's status. She's here to consult on the hydraulic system issues we've been experiencing. Rodriguez's expression changed immediately upon hearing the Skunk Works designation. The legendary Advanced Development Program commanded universal respect among military personnel, and contractors from that organization possessed knowledge that often exceeded that of regular maintenance crews. Ma'am, we've been chasing an intermittent hydraulic pressure loss in the starboard system for 3 weeks, Rodriguez said, his tone now respectful and hopeful. The problem appears randomly during flight operations, but disappears during ground testing. Our diagnostic equipment shows normal readings across all parameters. Sarah nodded and walked directly to Aircraft 779, the specific tail number she had mentioned to Morrison earlier. Her immediate identification of the problematic aircraft impressed both men, as the 12 Raptors appeared virtually identical to untrained observers. Chief Rodriguez, have your crews check the pressure accumulator mounting brackets in the starboard wheel well? Sarah asked, kneeling beside the landing gear bay. There's a harmonic resonance issue that develops at specific flight attitudes, causing microfractures in the mounting hardware. Rodriguez exchanged glances with Morrison before responding. Ma'am, we've inspected those brackets multiple times. They appear structurally sound and pass all stress tests. Sarah smiled and reached into her backpack, producing a specialized inspection tool that neither man recognized. The device resembled a modified ultrasonic scanner with additional sensors and digital displays not found on standard maintenance equipment. This is a prototype harmonic stress detector developed specifically for composite mounting systems, Sarah explained as she positioned the device against the bracket assembly. It identifies resonance-induced fatigue that doesn't appear on conventional stress analysis equipment. The device emitted a series of high-pitched tones as Sarah moved it along the mounting brackets. After several minutes, The display showed red indicators at specific stress points that appeared perfectly normal to visual inspection. "Chief, you have hairline fractures developing in brackets 7, 12, and 15, Sarah announced, pointing to components that showed no visible damage. These fractures open under specific flight conditions, causing temporary pressure loss that seals again when the aircraft returns to ground configuration." Rodriguez knelt beside Sarah and examined the indicated areas more closely. The brackets appeared flawless to his experienced eye, but the electronic evidence suggested otherwise. His respect for advanced diagnostic technology overcame his initial skepticism about the analysis. "Ma'am, assuming you're correct about the fractures, what's the recommended repair procedure?" Rodriguez asked. "Standard bracket replacement would require significant disassembly and recalibration time." Sarah stood and brushed dust from her civilian clothes. "Actually, Chief, the fractures can be reinforced using a carbon fiber composite patch system I developed for similar issues on the F-35 program. The repair takes about 6 hours per aircraft and provides stronger mounting than the original hardware." Morrison watched the interaction with growing admiration for Sarah's technical expertise. Her knowledge extended beyond theoretical understanding to practical solutions for complex maintenance challenges. The casual way she mentioned the F-35 program suggested involvement in multiple advanced aircraft development projects. The hangar around them buzzed with activity as other maintenance crews worked on various aircraft systems. Several technicians had noticed the unusual consultation taking place and began gathering at respectful distances to observe the proceedings. Rodriguez activated his radio and called for his senior maintenance team to join the discussion. Within minutes, 6 experienced technicians assembled around aircraft 779, their attention focused on Sarah's diagnostic findings and proposed solutions. "Major Martinez, if we implement your repair procedure on this aircraft, how quickly can we verify the effectiveness?" Rodriguez asked. "We have flight operations scheduled for tomorrow morning that cannot be delayed without significant mission impact." Sarah consulted her watch and considered the timing requirements. "Chief, we can complete the repair on 779 this afternoon and conduct ground testing tonight. If the repair holds under simulated flight stress, you can clear the aircraft for operations tomorrow morning with confidence." The assembled maintenance team exchanged approving glances as they recognized the efficiency of Sarah's proposed timeline. Her understanding of operational requirements demonstrated experience with the pressures faced by active military units balancing maintenance needs with mission schedules. Word of Sarah's diagnostic findings spread rapidly through the maintenance division as technicians shared details of the harmonic stress detection procedure. Staff Sergeant Peterson, a 20-year veteran with extensive F-22 experience, approached the group with obvious skepticism about the proposed carbon fiber repair solution. "Ma'am, I've been working on Raptors since the program started, and I've never seen mounting bracket failures like you're describing," Peterson said, his tone respectful but challenging. "These aircraft undergo the most rigorous stress testing in the world before delivery to operational units." Sarah acknowledged his concern with a nod. "Sergeant Peterson, the harmonic resonance issue wasn't discovered until the F-22 fleet accumulated significant flight hours under specific operational conditions. The problem appears primarily in aircraft that have exceeded 800 flight hours with regular high-G maneuvering profiles." Peterson consulted the maintenance log for aircraft 779 and confirmed that the specific Raptor had indeed surpassed 800 flight hours with extensive combat training missions. His expression shifted from skepticism toward grudging acceptance of the technical explanation. Chief Rodriguez ordered his team to begin the disassembly procedures necessary to access the starboard hydraulic mounting system. The process required careful coordination to avoid damaging sensitive stealth coatings while gaining access to internal components. Morrison observed the maintenance activity while processing the implications of Sarah's expertise. Her casual mention of fleet-wide data and specific flight hour thresholds suggested access to information beyond that available to individual base maintenance units. Major Martinez, how many installations have implemented your carbon fiber repair solution? Morrison asked, curious about the scope of her contractor work with F-22 operations. Captain, we've successfully applied this repair at 6 other bases experiencing similar issues, Sarah replied while monitoring the disassembly progress. The reinforced mounting systems have shown 0 failures across more than 2,000 combined flight hours since implementation. Technical Sergeant Williams, who had joined the group after completing work on another aircraft, examined Sarah's specialized diagnostic equipment with professional interest. The device represented technology advancement beyond standard Air Force maintenance capabilities. Ma'am, is this harmonic stress detector available for general fleet use? Williams asked. Our current diagnostic procedures obviously missed the fractures you identified, which suggests we need upgraded detection capabilities. Sarah smiled at the practical question. Sergeant Williams, the device is still in prototype development, but I expect general availability within 18 months. The Air Force has prioritized harmonic stress detection for all composite mounting systems following the discovery of this issue. The disassembly team had exposed the starboard hydraulic mounting brackets, revealing the sophisticated engineering required to integrate hydraulic systems within the F-22 stealth architecture. Sarah approached the exposed components and pointed to specific areas where her diagnostic equipment had indicated stress fractures. Chief Rodriguez used a high-powered magnifying glass to examine the indicated fracture locations more closely. After several minutes of careful inspection, he discovered hairline cracks that were virtually invisible without proper lighting and magnification. Major Martinez, I can see the fractures now that I know where to look, Rodriguez admitted, his voice carrying newfound respect for Sarah's diagnostic capabilities. These cracks would have been impossible to detect without your specialized equipment and specific guidance. The assembled maintenance team gathered around to observe the identified fractures, each technician taking turns examining the evidence through the magnifying glass. Their expressions reflected surprise at the subtlety of the damage and appreciation for the advanced detection methods that revealed the problem. Sarah retrieved a carbon fiber repair kit from her backpack, the material specifically designed for aerospace applications requiring extreme strength and durability. The kit included specialized adhesives, reinforcement patches, and curing equipment calibrated for hydraulic mounting applications. Chief, the repair procedure involves surface preparation, adhesive application, patch installation, and a 4-hour curing cycle under controlled temperature conditions, Sarah explained while organizing the materials. The process strengthens the original mounting point while eliminating the harmonic resonance that caused the initial fractures. Rodriguez assigned his most experienced composite repair technician to work directly with Sarah during the installation process. The complexity of F-22 maintenance required precise execution of all procedures to maintain aircraft integrity and operational readiness. Morrison stepped back to allow the maintenance team working space while continuing to observe Sarah's professional interaction with the technicians. Her respect for their experience combined with willingness to share advanced knowledge created an atmosphere of collaborative problem-solving rather than hierarchical instruction. The repair process began with careful surface preparation using specialized tools designed to avoid damaging surrounding components. Sarah supervised each step while explaining the technical rationale behind specific procedures to the assembled maintenance personnel. The carbon fiber repair process proceeded efficiently under Sarah's guidance as the maintenance team applied her advanced techniques to aircraft 779. Morrison received a radio call from base operations requesting his presence at the command center for an urgent briefing about tomorrow's flight operations. Captain Morrison departed the hangar, leaving Sarah to continue supervising the repair work with Chief Rodriguez and his team. The collaborative atmosphere had transformed the maintenance bay into an impromptu training session as technicians absorbed new diagnostic and repair procedures. Technical Sergeant Williams documented each step of the carbon fiber installation process using digital photography and detailed notes. The procedure would become part of the official maintenance protocol for future hydraulic mounting issues across the F-22 fleet. Sarah monitored the adhesive curing process using a portable temperature control unit that maintained precise environmental conditions required for optimal patch bonding. The specialized equipment demonstrated the sophisticated approach necessary for composite repairs on advanced aircraft systems. Staff Sergeant Peterson, who had initially questioned the repair methodology, now worked alongside Sarah to prepare similar patches for the remaining fractured mounting brackets. His 20 years of experience, combined with her advanced materials knowledge, created an effective partnership. The repair work attracted attention from other maintenance crews working throughout Hangar 7. Word had spread about the innovative diagnostic equipment and repair techniques being demonstrated on aircraft 779, prompting requests for similar evaluations on other F-22s in the fleet. Chief Rodriguez coordinated with Sarah to schedule comprehensive harmonic stress inspections for all 12 aircraft in the hangar. The process would require several days to complete, but could prevent potential flight safety issues before they developed into serious problems. Sarah consulted her tablet computer to access technical specifications for each aircraft's flight history and maintenance records. The comprehensive database allowed her to prioritize inspections based on flight hours and operational stress profiles that indicated higher probability of mounting bracket issues. Aircraft 773 and 781 showed flight profiles similar to 779, suggesting they should receive immediate inspection priority. The remaining aircraft had accumulated fewer high-stress flight hours, but would benefit from preventive evaluation using the harmonic stress detection equipment. The curing process for the first set of patches approached completion as Sarah monitored the temperature control readouts. The carbon fiber reinforcement would provide mounting strength exceeding original specifications while eliminating the harmonic resonance frequencies that caused the initial fractures. Technical Sergeant Williams prepared ground testing equipment to evaluate the hydraulic system performance following the repair completion. The testing would simulate flight conditions to verify that the pressure loss issues had been resolved through the mounting bracket reinforcement. Sarah's tablet chimed with an incoming message from Colonel Hayes requesting a status update on the maintenance consultation. She responded with preliminary findings and estimated completion time for the comprehensive fleet inspection she had proposed to Chief Rodriguez. The maintenance team worked with focused efficiency as they prepared to complete the repair installation. Their initial skepticism about civilian contractor involvement had transformed into appreciation for advanced techniques that address persistent maintenance challenges. Staff Sergeant Peterson examined the completed patches on the first set of mounting brackets, noting the precision and quality of the carbon fiber installation. The repair appeared seamless and professional, matching the high standards required for F-22 maintenance operations. Sarah packed her specialized diagnostic equipment while the final adhesive curing cycle completed. The prototype harmonic stress detector had proven its value in identifying structural issues invisible to conventional inspection methods, validating the development investment in advanced maintenance technology. Chief Rodriguez scheduled follow-up inspections for the remaining aircraft in the hangar, spreading the work across several shifts to minimize impact on operational readiness. The comprehensive evaluation would provide valuable data about fleet-wide mounting bracket conditions. The afternoon sunlight streaming through the hangar windows illuminated the sophisticated repair work nearing completion on aircraft 779. Sarah's consultation had evolved from resolving a single aircraft issue into implementing preventive maintenance procedures for the entire F-22 fleet stationed at Nellis. Technical Sergeant Williams completed his documentation of the repair process, creating a comprehensive reference guide for future maintenance teams dealing with similar hydraulic mounting issues. The knowledge transfer represented significant value beyond the immediate aircraft repair. Sarah reviewed the temperature control readings one final time before authorizing removal of the curing equipment. The carbon fiber patches had achieved full structural strength and were ready for hydraulic system testing and operational evaluation. Colonel Hayes arrived at Hangar 7 as the maintenance team prepared for ground testing of the repaired hydraulic system on aircraft 779. His presence immediately elevated the significance of Sarah's consultation work, drawing attention from personnel throughout the facility. Major Martinez, I understand you've identified the source of our hydraulic pressure issues, Colonel Hayes said as he approached the group gathered around the F-22. His tone carried the weight of someone dealing with operational problems that had persisted despite extensive troubleshooting efforts. Sarah stood at attention briefly before Hayes gestured for her to continue working. Colonel, we discovered harmonic resonance fractures in the starboard mounting brackets that were invisible to standard diagnostic procedures. The carbon fiber reinforcement should eliminate both the current problems and prevent future occurrences. Hayes examined the completed repair work with the critical eye of an experienced pilot who understood the importance of hydraulic system reliability during flight operations. The sophisticated carbon fiber patches appeared professionally installed and properly integrated with the existing mounting structure. Chief Rodriguez activated the ground testing equipment to demonstrate the hydraulic system performance following the repair completion. The testing sequence simulated various flight conditions to verify that pressure loss issues had been resolved through the mounting bracket reinforcement. Major Martinez, your diagnostic equipment detected fractures that our standard procedures missed completely, Hayes observed as he watched the testing process. How many other aircraft in our fleet might have similar undetected problems? Sarah consulted her tablet, displaying the comprehensive inspection schedule she had developed with Chief Rodriguez. Colonel, based on flight hour analysis and operational stress profiles, I recommend immediate inspection of aircraft 773 and 781, followed by preventive evaluation of the remaining fleet. The ground testing sequence completed successfully with no indication of hydraulic pressure loss under simulated flight conditions. The repair had addressed the intermittent problem that had plagued maintenance crews for 3 weeks, validating Sarah's diagnostic findings and repair methodology. Hayes nodded approvingly at the test results. Major Martinez, I want you to expand your consultation to include our entire F-22 fleet here at Nellis. Your advanced diagnostic capabilities could prevent serious flight safety issues before they develop into emergency situations. Technical Sergeant Williams presented his documentation of the repair process to Colonel Hayes, including detailed photographs and step-by-step procedures that would enable other maintenance teams to implement similar repairs when needed. Colonel, Major Martinez has developed repair techniques that exceed original mounting specifications while addressing the harmonic resonance issues, Williams explained. The carbon fiber reinforcement provides superior strength and eliminates the frequency problems that cause the initial fractures. Hayes reviewed the documentation with obvious interest in the advanced maintenance procedures. The Air Force constantly sought improved methods for maintaining complex aircraft systems, and Sarah's techniques represented significant advancement over conventional approaches. Sarah's specialized equipment had attracted attention from maintenance personnel working on other aircraft throughout the hangar. Several technicians approached to observe the harmonic stress detection procedures that had revealed the previously invisible fractures. Major Martinez, can your diagnostic equipment detect similar problems in other aircraft systems beyond hydraulic mounting brackets? Hayes asked. The F-22 incorporates numerous composite mounting applications that might benefit from harmonic stress evaluation. Sarah smiled at the practical question. Colonel, the harmonic stress detector works on any composite mounting system subject to vibrational stress. We could evaluate engine mounts, avionics brackets, and weapons system attachments using the same detection methodology. The scope of potential applications impressed Hayes as he considered the comprehensive maintenance benefits possible through Sarah's advanced diagnostic capabilities. Preventing structural failures before they occurred represented significant operational and safety advantages. Chief Rodriguez coordinated with his maintenance teams to begin preparing aircraft 773 for harmonic stress inspection. The process would follow the same diagnostic procedures that had revealed the mounting bracket issues in aircraft 779. Hayes observed the efficient coordination between Sarah and the maintenance personnel, noting the collaborative atmosphere that had developed around the advanced diagnostic and repair procedures. Her expertise enhanced rather than replaced existing maintenance capabilities. Staff Sergeant Peterson approached Colonel Hayes with questions about implementing the carbon fiber repair techniques across other F-22 installations. The advanced procedures could benefit maintenance operations throughout the Air Force if properly disseminated. Colonel Major Martinez has provided training that significantly upgrades our composite repair capabilities, Peterson reported. The techniques she's demonstrated could prevent similar hydraulic issues across the entire F-22 fleet if implemented systematically. Hayes appreciated the broader implications of Sarah's consultation work, extending beyond immediate problem resolution to fleet-wide maintenance improvement. The advanced diagnostic and repair procedures represented valuable knowledge transfer from Skunk Works development programs to operational maintenance units. The harmonic stress inspection of aircraft 773 proceeded under Sarah's supervision as her diagnostic equipment revealed additional mounting bracket fractures matching the pattern discovered in 779. The consistency of the findings validated her analysis of fleet-wide structural issues affecting F-22 operations. Lieutenant Colonel Davis from the 422nd Test and Evaluation Squadron arrived at the hangar after receiving reports about advanced diagnostic procedures being demonstrated on operational aircraft. His presence signaled high-level interest in Sarah's consultation work and its potential applications. Major Martinez, I understand you've identified structural problems that our standard maintenance procedures missed, Davis said as he approached the inspection area. His tone carried the analytical precision of someone accustomed to evaluating new technologies and procedures for military applications. Sarah paused her diagnostic work to brief Davis on the harmonic resonance issues and carbon fiber repair methodology. Colonel Davis, we've discovered that specific flight profiles create vibrational frequencies that cause microfractures in composite mounting brackets, leading to intermittent hydraulic system failures. Davis examined the diagnostic equipment with obvious technical interest. The harmonic stress detector represented advancement beyond conventional maintenance capabilities, offering detection of structural problems invisible to standard inspection procedures. Lieutenant Colonel Major Martinez has developed repair techniques that not only address current problems, but prevent future occurrences through superior mounting strength, Chief Rodriguez explained. The carbon fiber reinforcement exceeds original specifications while eliminating harmonic resonance issues. The inspection of aircraft 773 revealed fractures in mounting brackets 7, 12, and 15, exactly matching the pattern found in 779. The consistency confirmed Sarah's analysis of systemic issues affecting multiple aircraft rather than isolated maintenance problems. Davis coordinated with Colonel Hayes to evaluate the broader implications of Sarah's findings for F-22 fleet operations. The discovery of undetected structural problems raised questions about maintenance procedures and diagnostic capabilities across all installations operating the advanced fighter aircraft. Technical Sergeant Williams continued documenting the inspection and repair procedures, creating comprehensive reference materials for implementation at other F-22 bases. The knowledge transfer represented significant value beyond immediate problem resolution at Nellis Air Force Base. Sarah's consultation had evolved from troubleshooting a single aircraft issue into revealing fleet-wide maintenance challenges that required systematic address through improved diagnostic and repair procedures. The scope of impact impressed both Hayes and Davis as they considered operational implications. Staff Sergeant Peterson supervised the carbon fiber repair installation on aircraft 773 while applying the techniques he had learned during the previous repair. His proficiency with the advanced procedures demonstrated the effectiveness of Sarah's training approach. The afternoon maintenance schedule required coordination between multiple aircraft inspections and repair activities. Sarah's diagnostic equipment could only inspect one aircraft at a time, necessitating prioritization based on flight hours and operational stress profiles. Colonel Hayes received updates from other F-22 installations reporting similar intermittent hydraulic problems that had defied conventional troubleshooting efforts. The pattern suggested that Sarah's findings had identified issues affecting the entire F-22 fleet rather than problems specific to Nellis operations. Lieutenant Colonel Davis requested detailed technical specifications for Sarah's harmonic stress detection equipment and carbon fiber repair procedures. The Air Force Materiel Command would evaluate the technologies for potential fleet-wide implementation if testing validated their effectiveness. Sarah coordinated with base supply personnel to ensure adequate carbon fiber repair materials would be available for comprehensive fleet inspection and repair activities. The advanced materials required specialized handling and storage procedures not typically maintained at operational bases. The inspection schedule expanded to include all 12 F-22 aircraft in Hangar 7 as evidence mounted that the harmonic resonance problem affected multiple aircraft with similar flight profiles. The comprehensive evaluation would require several days to complete systematically. Chief Rodriguez assigned additional maintenance personnel to support the expanded inspection and repair activities while maintaining normal operational readiness for aircraft not requiring immediate attention. The workload required careful coordination to avoid delays in scheduled flight operations. Sarah's tablet displayed incoming messages from Skunk Works headquarters requesting status updates on her consultation work at Nellis. The Advanced Development Program maintained close coordination with field applications of prototype diagnostic and repair technologies. The maintenance teams had developed efficient procedures for implementing Sarah's diagnostic and repair techniques, demonstrating the practical value of advanced technologies when properly integrated with existing maintenance capabilities. The collaboration enhanced rather than disrupted normal operations. Lieutenant Colonel Davis observed the systematic approach Sarah employed for fleet evaluation, noting the methodical procedures that ensured comprehensive problem identification while maintaining aircraft operational readiness. Her expertise combined theoretical knowledge with practical implementation skills. General Patricia Hawkins from Air Combat Command arrived at Nellis unannounced as reports of fleet-wide F-22 structural issues reached Pentagon-level attention. Her presence immediately transformed the maintenance consultation into a high-priority investigation with potential implications for global F-22 operations. Colonel Hayes and Lieutenant Colonel Davis greeted General Hawkins at the hangar entrance, both officers recognizing the significance of her personal involvement in what had begun as routine maintenance troubleshooting. The general's reputation for technical expertise and operational leadership commanded immediate respect. General, Major Martinez from Skunk Works has identified systemic structural problems affecting our F-22 fleet. Hayes briefed as they approached the inspection area. Her advanced diagnostic equipment detected fractures invisible to our standard maintenance procedures, potentially impacting flight safety across all installations. General Hawkins examined the harmonic stress detection equipment with obvious technical interest. Her background included engineering degrees and extensive experience with advanced aircraft development programs, providing the knowledge necessary to evaluate Sarah's diagnostic findings. Major Martinez, explain the scope of structural problems you've discovered and the implications for F-22 fleet operations, General Hawkins requested. Her tone carried the authority of someone accustomed to making decisions affecting thousands of personnel and billions of dollars in military assets. Sarah briefed the general on harmonic resonance fractures affecting hydraulic mounting brackets, the intermittent pressure loss symptoms, and the carbon fiber repair methodology that addressed both current problems and future prevention. The technical explanation demonstrated the sophisticated analysis underlying her diagnostic findings. General Hawkins observed the inspection process on Aircraft 781, where Sarah's equipment revealed fractures matching the pattern found in the two previously inspected F-22s. The consistency confirmed systemic issues rather than isolated maintenance problems. How many F-22 installations have reported similar hydraulic pressure problems? General Hawkins asked Davis, who had coordinated with other bases during the afternoon investigation. The pattern of fleet-wide issues suggested manufacturing or design factors requiring comprehensive address. Lieutenant Colonel Davis consulted his tablet, displaying reports from 6 F-22 installations experiencing intermittent hydraulic problems that matched the symptoms Sarah had identified at Nellis. The scope encompassed approximately 40% of the operational F-22 fleet globally. General, if Major Martinez's findings apply, fleet-wide, we're looking at potential grounding of affected aircraft until comprehensive inspection and repair procedures can be implemented, Davis reported. The operational impact could significantly affect F-22 mission readiness worldwide. Sarah presented her analysis of flight hour thresholds and operational stress profiles that correlated with mounting bracket fracture development. General, aircraft exceeding 800 flight hours with regular high-G maneuvering show highest probability of structural issues requiring immediate inspection. The general processed the implications of grounding potentially dozens of F-22 aircraft for inspection and repair while maintaining global operational commitments. The advanced fighter represented a critical capability that could not be easily replaced during extended maintenance periods. Chief Rodriguez reported that his maintenance teams had successfully implemented Sarah's repair procedures on 2 aircraft, with ground testing confirming resolution of hydraulic pressure issues. General, the carbon fiber reinforcement provides superior strength while addressing the harmonic resonance problems causing the initial fractures. General Hawkins coordinated with Pentagon personnel via secure communication to discuss fleet-wide inspection requirements and operational impacts. The decision to ground aircraft for preventive maintenance required balancing safety concerns against mission readiness commitments. Major Martinez, what timeline would be required to inspect and repair the entire F-22 fleet using your diagnostic and repair procedures? The general asked. The logistical challenges included equipment availability, personnel training, and material supply across multiple installations. Sarah consulted her planning analysis developed during the afternoon expansion of consultation activities. General, comprehensive fleet inspection and repair would require approximately 6 months with proper equipment distribution and personnel training, assuming priority scheduling for high-risk aircraft. The maintenance teams continued working on aircraft 781, while senior leadership evaluated the broader implications of Sarah's findings. The hangar had become the center of analysis affecting global F-22 operations and strategic military capabilities. General Hawkins reviewed documentation prepared by Technical Sergeant Williams detailing the repair procedures and training requirements for implementation across the F-22 fleet. The comprehensive approach demonstrated the thoroughness necessary for military-wide technology adoption. Staff Sergeant Peterson approached the leadership group with questions about immediate implementation priorities for aircraft scheduled for combat deployments. The operational requirements demanded careful coordination between maintenance needs and mission commitments. Colonel Hayes briefed General Hawkins on the collaborative relationship Sarah had established with maintenance personnel, emphasizing the knowledge transfer that enhanced existing capabilities rather than replacing established procedures. The integration approach facilitated rapid adoption of advanced techniques. General Hawkins requested a comprehensive briefing on Sarah's background and qualifications to evaluate the credibility of findings that could affect global F-22 operations. The stakes had escalated beyond maintenance consultation into strategic military decision-making requiring absolute confidence in technical analysis. Major Martinez, I need to understand your specific experience with F-22 development and testing programs, General Hawkins stated. Her tone carried the weight of someone about to make decisions affecting billions of dollars in military assets based on one person's diagnostic findings. Sarah straightened slightly before responding. General, I was the lead hydraulic systems engineer during F-22 development testing from 1995 to 2001. I designed the mounting bracket systems currently experiencing the harmonic resonance problems and conducted the original stress analysis that apparently missed the long-term fatigue issues. The admission that she had designed the problematic systems created a moment of silence among the assembled personnel. Her intimate knowledge of the mounting bracket engineering suddenly took on new significance as the original designer confronting flaws in her own work. Colonel Hayes and Lieutenant Colonel Davis exchanged glances as they processed the implications of Sarah's revelation. The woman who had identified the structural problems was also responsible for the original design that exhibited those problems after extended operational use. General Hawkins studied Sarah's expression carefully. Major Martinez, are you suggesting that the original F-22 design contained inherent flaws that manifested only after extensive operational use? Flaws that you failed to predict during the development phase? Sarah met the general's gaze directly. General, the harmonic resonance frequencies that caused the fractures occur only under specific operational conditions that were not fully tested during the development program. We conducted extensive stress analysis, but the testing protocols did not encompass the full range of operational flight profiles now routinely performed by F-22 pilots. Technical Sergeant Williams consulted his maintenance records to verify Sarah's timeline claims. Ma'am, the hydraulic mounting system design shows your signature on the original engineering specifications from 1998. You were indeed the lead engineer responsible for these components. The maintenance personnel gathered around aircraft 781 observed the conversation with growing understanding of Sarah's unique position. She possessed unparalleled knowledge of the mounting bracket systems because she had created them, making her both responsible for the problems and uniquely qualified to solve them. Chief Rodriguez approached with the inspection results from aircraft 781, confirming fractures in the same mounting bracket locations identified in the previous two aircraft. Major Martinez, your diagnostic equipment detected the exact failure points predicted by someone with intimate knowledge of the original design stress concentrations. General Hawkins processed the complex dynamics of Sarah's involvement in both creating and solving the structural problems. Major Martinez, your position as original designer explains your extraordinary diagnostic capabilities, but it also raises questions about why these issues were not anticipated during development testing. Sarah nodded at the valid concern. General, the F-22 development program operated under time and budget constraints that limited the scope of long-term fatigue testing. We focused on meeting immediate performance requirements rather than predicting problems that might develop after years of operational use under conditions we had not fully anticipated. The honesty of Sarah's admission impressed the assembled personnel while highlighting the challenges faced during complex aircraft development programs. Engineering decisions made decades earlier under different circumstances had created problems requiring current solutions. Lieutenant Colonel Davis reviewed classified documentation about F-22 development programs to verify details of Sarah's involvement. Major Martinez, your personnel records confirm lead engineer status for hydraulic systems during the time frame you specified. Your current contractor status with Skunk Works maintains continuity with your original development work. General Hawkins observed the inspection and repair procedures with new appreciation for Sarah's comprehensive understanding of the mounting bracket systems. The original designer possessed knowledge that no other engineer could replicate, making her consultation invaluable for addressing the structural problems. Staff Sergeant Peterson supervised the carbon fiber repair installation on aircraft 781 while reflecting on the remarkable circumstances that brought the original system designer back to solve problems in her own work. The situation demonstrated the long-term relationships between engineers and the systems they create. The afternoon sunlight, streaming through the hangar windows, illuminated the sophisticated repair work being performed by maintenance teams under guidance from the engineer who had originally designed the components 25 years earlier. The continuity represented an unusual convergence of past and present engineering expertise. General Hawkins made the decision to implement Sarah's diagnostic and repair procedures across the entire F-22 fleet based on her unique qualifications and the demonstrated effectiveness of her solutions. Major Martinez, I'm authorizing fleet-wide implementation of your harmonic stress detection and carbon fiber repair protocols. The revelation that Sarah was the original F-22 hydraulic systems designer sent ripples of recognition through the assembled personnel as they realized they were witnessing engineering history. General Hawkins stepped forward and extended her hand in a gesture of profound respect for Sarah's extraordinary contribution to American air superiority. Major Martinez, on behalf of the United States Air Force, I want to thank you for your dedication to the F-22 program spanning more than 25 years, General Hawkins said. Her voice carried genuine admiration for someone who had returned to fix problems and systems she had created decades earlier. Chief Rodriguez removed his cap in a gesture of respect rarely seen in military maintenance facilities. Ma'am, I've been working on F-22s for 15 years, and I never imagined I would meet the engineer who designed the systems I maintain every day. Your hydraulic mounting brackets have kept our aircraft flying safely through countless missions. Technical Sergeant Williams stood at attention as he processed the significance of documenting repair procedures developed by the original system designer. Ma'am, the maintenance manuals I've studied for years contain your engineering specifications. It's an honor to learn advanced repair techniques directly from the source. Staff Sergeant Peterson approached Sarah with obvious emotion in his voice. Major Martinez, I've replaced hundreds of hydraulic components over my career without ever knowing who designed them. Meeting the engineer responsible for keeping our pilots safe is something I'll never forget. Lieutenant Colonel Davis consulted his tablet to review Sarah's complete engineering record with the F-22 program. Major Martinez, your personnel file shows responsibility for hydraulic systems, flight control integration, and landing gear mechanisms. You essentially designed the foundation systems that make the F-22 operational. The maintenance teams working throughout Hangar 7 had paused their activities to observe the unprecedented scene of the original F-22 designer personally supervising repairs to her own engineering work. Word spread rapidly through the facility as personnel recognized the historic significance of the moment. Colonel Hayes approached Sarah with newfound appreciation for her morning visit to the restricted hangar area. Major Martinez, when you mentioned the Phoenix incident and specific aircraft numbers, you were drawing from intimate knowledge as the engineer who designed those systems. Your familiarity wasn't coincidental, but foundational. Sarah smiled at the recognition while maintaining her characteristic humility. Colonel Hayes, I've spent 25 years watching F-22s evolve from development prototypes into operational aircraft. The pilots who fly these machines trust systems I created, which makes solving any problems a personal responsibility rather than just professional consultation. General Hawkins coordinated with Pentagon personnel to expedite Sarah's fleet-wide diagnostic and repair program implementation. The combination of her original design authority and demonstrated problem-solving capability created unprecedented confidence in the proposed solutions. The harmonic stress detection equipment that had seemed revolutionary earlier in the day now represented logical advancement by someone with complete understanding of the original design parameters and long-term operational requirements. Sarah's prototype development made perfect sense given her intimate system knowledge. Technical Sergeant Williams presented his comprehensive documentation to General Hawkins, explaining how Sarah's repair procedures improved upon her original design through advanced materials and manufacturing techniques unavailable during the 1990s development program. Chief Rodriguez supervised the completion of carbon fiber repairs on aircraft 781, while reflecting on the remarkable circumstances that brought the original designer back to enhance her own work. The continuity demonstrated engineering evolution spanning multiple decades. Staff Sergeant Peterson coordinated with supply personnel to ensure adequate carbon fiber materials would be available for the expanded fleet inspection program. The advanced repair techniques required specialized components that exceeded normal maintenance inventory requirements. General Hawkins observed the efficient collaboration between Sarah and the maintenance teams, noting how her engineering expertise enhanced rather than superseded existing maintenance capabilities. The knowledge transfer created lasting improvement in diagnostic and repair procedures. The afternoon maintenance activities had transformed from routine troubleshooting into historic documentation of advanced engineering solutions developed by the original system designer. The convergence of past design work and current problem-solving represented unprecedented continuity in military aircraft development. Lieutenant Colonel Davis received confirmation from Air Force Material Command authorizing immediate implementation of Sarah's diagnostic and repair protocols across all F-22 installations. The decision reflected confidence in her unique qualifications and demonstrated solution effectiveness. Sarah's tablet displayed incoming messages from Skunk Works headquarters congratulating her on successful field application of prototype diagnostic equipment. The Advanced Development Program had achieved validation of new technologies through practical implementation at operational bases. The maintenance teams prepared for expanded fleet inspection activities while processing the remarkable revelation that they were working directly with the engineer who had created the systems they maintained. The personal connection transformed routine maintenance into collaborative engineering advancement. Captain Morrison returned to Hangar 7 as the afternoon consultation concluded, unaware of the dramatic revelations that had transformed Sarah's status from detained civilian to revered F-22 designer. His approach toward the group, gathered around Aircraft 781, reflected his expectation of concluding a routine contractor visit. General Hawkins noticed Morrison's arrival and gestured for him to join the leadership group. "Captain Morrison, I understand you were responsible for initially detaining Major Martinez this morning when she approached the restricted hangar area." Morrison's expression shifted from casual confidence to concern as he realized his morning security decisions were being reviewed by a general officer. "Yes, ma'am." She presented expired military identification and approached without proper authorization displays. "I followed standard security protocols. Major Martinez is the original design engineer for F-22 hydraulic systems, and her consultation today has potentially prevented fleet-wide flight safety issues," General Hawkins explained. Her morning visit wasn't unauthorized access, but rather a return visit by someone with more intimate knowledge of these aircraft than anyone currently stationed here. The weight of his mistakes settled over Morrison as he processed the implications of detaining someone whose engineering work had made F-22 operations possible. His assumption about unauthorized civilian access had prevented immediate consultation that could have addressed critical safety issues hours earlier. Sarah stepped forward with a reassuring smile. "Captain Morrison, you followed proper security procedures when confronted with an unusual situation. Your caution protects these aircraft and the classified technologies they represent. I should have presented my contractor credentials immediately instead of relying on expired military identification." Chief Rodriguez approached Morrison with obvious enthusiasm about the day's developments. "Captain, Major Martinez designed the hydraulic systems we maintain every day. She identified structural problems our diagnostic equipment couldn't detect and developed repair procedures that exceed original specifications." Morrison studied Sarah with newfound appreciation for her significance to F-22 operations. "Major Martinez, when you mentioned the Phoenix incident and specific aircraft numbers this morning, you were drawing from knowledge as the original designer rather than classified information obtained through unauthorized channels." Technical Sergeant Williams presented Morrison with documentation of the advanced diagnostic and repair procedures Sarah had demonstrated throughout the afternoon. "Captain, We've learned maintenance techniques today that will benefit F-22 operations for years to come. The maintenance teams throughout Hangar 7 had completed their afternoon activities while absorbing advanced training from the original F-22 hydraulic systems engineer. The knowledge transfer represented invaluable enhancement of existing maintenance capabilities. Staff Sergeant Peterson coordinated with Morrison about implementing the expanded fleet inspection program that would utilize Sarah's harmonic stress detection equipment across all 12 aircraft. The comprehensive evaluation would ensure flight safety while validating the diagnostic procedures. Colonel Hayes briefed Morrison on General Hawkins' decision to implement Sarah's diagnostic and repair protocols fleet-wide based on her unique qualifications and demonstrated solution effectiveness. The authorization reflected confidence in both her engineering expertise and problem-solving capability. Lieutenant Colonel Davis reviewed the operational implications of Sarah's findings with Morrison, emphasizing how her consultation had identified systemic issues affecting global F-22 readiness. The morning detention had initially delayed, but ultimately facilitated critical maintenance advancement. Morrison reflected on the morning's events with embarrassment about his assumptions and gratitude for Sarah's understanding response to his security procedures. The experience demonstrated the challenges of balancing security requirements with operational flexibility. General Hawkins prepared to depart Nellis with confidence that the F-22 hydraulic mounting issues would be resolved through systematic implementation of Sarah's advanced diagnostic and repair procedures. The consultation had exceeded all expectations for contractor expertise and problem-solving capability. Sarah packed her specialized equipment while coordinating with Chief Rodriguez about follow-up support for the expanded fleet inspection program. Her prototype harmonic stress detector had proven its value through practical application at an operational base. The afternoon sunlight cast long shadows across the hangar as maintenance teams secured aircraft and equipment following the historic consultation. The convergence of original design expertise with current operational requirements had created lasting improvement in F-22 maintenance capabilities. Morrison approached Sarah as she prepared to leave the facility. "Major Martinez, I apologize for the confusion this morning and want to thank you for your understanding about security procedures. Your patience with the verification process allowed us to benefit from your extraordinary expertise." Sarah shook Morrison's hand with genuine warmth. "Captain Morrison, protecting these aircraft and their technologies requires vigilance from dedicated professionals like yourself. Your security procedures ensure that only authorized personnel access these critical systems. What legendary call sign would you want to have if you were a pilot or military engineer? Let me know in the comments what kind of reputation you'd want to build through your expertise and dedication." The day concluded with enhanced respect for both security procedures and engineering expertise, demonstrating how apparent conflicts could resolve into collaborative advancement when handled with professionalism and mutual understanding. Sarah's visit had transformed from detention into celebration of engineering excellence spanning decades of F-22 operations.